The accused Golden State Killer is expected to be back in a California court next month. Prosecutors say Joseph DeAngelo is the man who raped and murdered people in the 1970s and 80s. He made his first court appearance Friday. Investigators used DNA testing and websites to track him down. But as the Associated Press reports, at first, that led to the wrong man. John Blackstone now on the questions being raised about this investigative tool.
Handcuffed to a wheelchair, Joseph DeAngelo was arraigned on charges for 2 murders in 1978. He was barely audible answering the judge. Investigators found DeAngelo using DNA from crime scenes decades ago, which they submitted to a publicly shared genealogy website called GEDmatch. Cold case investigator Paul Holes.
We were able to do this without seeking the legal authority in terms of getting the federal grand jury subpoena or the search warrant that we would need if we wanted to search the other types of genealogy sites.
GEDmatch users submit DNA profiles they buy from sites like Ancestry.com and 23andMe. They plug their data for free into GEDmatch, searching for distant relatives. Within days, investigators found distant cousins of the suspected Golden State Killer.
We literally went back to the great-great-great-grandfather with individuals that were born in the early part of the 1800s.
It took 4 months to identify DeAngelo as a likely suspect, but to prove it, investigators followed him to collect his DNA from something he threw away. District Attorney Anne Marie Schubert.
It could be he left a tissue. It could be that he, put his hands on a door handle, but it was what I call abandoned DNA.
That abandoned DNA solved a 44-year-old mystery in 4 months, but also raises concerns about the privacy of DNA collection.
Isn't it almost certain that a defense attorney is going to call this an illegal search?
We would expect that. We anticipate it. We're fully prepared to deal with that through the court processes.
GEDmatch says law enforcement never approached them. In a statement, GEDmatch tells users if you are concerned about non-genealogical uses of your DNA, you should not upload your DNA to the database. For CBS This Morning, Saturday, John Blackstone, Sacramento.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are okay with us finding criminals using this technology, but when you think about the numbers of people with their information out there.
Well, it's a whole, as John points out, it raises a whole new question about privacy, but it is a fascinating development in crime fighting, effectively.
Really is.
It's fascinating what they did.
It really is.